Howdy, howdy. Welcome to another run through. Again, we're going to use a product. Honestly, I've been at Eiricom now for a couple of months. New stuff just been rolled out. Haven't gotten my hands super deep into things, but that's the value of a system that's easy to use. Is if you typically have a bit of understanding of what's going on, you can kind of leverage it and get off the ground pretty quickly. So what we're going to do is I'm going to run you through RBI. I'm going to run you through a little bit of configuration. I'm going to show you a couple of use cases, and then we'll put it out there and go forward and do good things. So bear with me. Here we go. So this is my virtual machine. You can see that it's up and running. I'm on the internet. If I go to CNN.com, it's regular old live, internet, big deal, etc., etc. If you go to YouTube, YouTube looks like YouTube. You can see right there, there's the guy talking, chit chat chat. Let's, just show the value here. Honest trailers. I love honest trailers. Here's some other stuff from advertising, but you can see it's not clippy. It's running, it's doing its thing. So anyway, that's the system without RBI on. It's just basically a VM talking to the internet. No big deal. Now, if I go to my Eiricom dashboard, and I'm the admin, right? So I'm playing admin and user at the same time. If I go to my Eiricom dashboard, here's what you can see. This is me setting up things for my tenant ID. It's just given to me. So, let's look at the policies. So essentially, there's a whole bunch of policies in here. You can create stuff however you want. But the thing is, and I use this for my kids. It runs on their machines. It's basically, I turn this on, configure it, and then their system is running through the Eiricom cloud, and all the bad stuff is happening out there. It's not even getting to the endpoint. And I'll show you why I think it's of value here in a second. So anyway, let's look at what it looks like without Eiricom being on if you do something bad. So here's my machine. It's not, nothing is turned on. You can see right here, I don't have anything set up to fire up the actual Eiricom proxy, which is what I need to be shielded. Now, if I go to ICAR, which is basically something you can use to kind of test for, can you download malware, will it cause a blip on your machine, etc. And I go to this, download this malicious file on ICAR, downloads, okay, well, by then, Microsoft said I found this virus. Okay, good. However, the virus has already come to my machine. Remember, this is a problem. It's been downloaded. If it's not malware, if it's not doing something really strange, if it's just executing PowerShell or whatever, what's the likelihood that Microsoft picks it up? It could already have executed things and done bad stuff. And on top of that, if you go even further and you say, well, what if I zip stuff? Great, it finds it, but it zips it and finds it and looks through it after it's on the machine. That's not necessarily good because bad things can already have happened. Now, if we dial that back a bit and say, well, what if I'm a user and I go to like a phishing site, and just to show you that I'm not gaming the system, let's pick a phishing site. Copy that, paste it over here. This is off, and I mean, this is the typical user scenario, right? Where the user, being users, they're doing what they're doing for work, but you literally can have people that will see the big red Google alert, like, deceptive site ahead. Don't go do this. Blah, blah, blah. What does the user do? I need to do this. I need to check this out because it's pictures of grandma's kitty cats or whatever. So I'm going to visit this unsafe site because people do that. This one's down. That one's up. Let's see what happens if I go to the home page. Looks like it's down as well. Got to find somebody here that's actually live. And again, live demo. Okay, so here's a good one. Oh, actually O2. So remember, I'm not running through Shield. This thing has said, what's your username, what's your password, because you got an email with an embedded link that said, hey, you're an O2 customer. You need to renew your account creds. Oh, sure. My account creds and sucky password. right? Now on this web form, because I got this link and because I clicked it and did those things, it's a phishing site. Even Google told me this is a phishing site. I'm a user. I just banged through this because that's what people do. And they entered their stuff, and guess what? You just got pwned. Like, that's your username and password is now taken. Now that's without Eiricom running, and this is a live phishing site I just pulled directly off a fish tank a few minutes ago. You know, there you are. We don't want to enter this information. This is bogus. This is not good. This is not where you want to be. It's been told that it's phishing. So what if we switch that up and say, well, okay, let's apply policy, apply a remote browser isolation, and make it where the user, because I know users will do that stuff if it's a phishing site, make it where they can't enter information. You know, does that solve a problem? I think so. So let's go in here and let's look at our default configuration. And this is for all of the users, right? Policy access is via Shield. Everything's going to be rendered in read-only. I don't want them to be able to upload files because I'm doing DLP-ish stuff. I don't want people uploading files. I'm going to do subdomains, so you can go through subdomains. Cookies are going to be processed and run by the browsing system itself, so no issues there. Rendering, crystal, stream, or frame. Crystal is going to be the one where everything looks normal. You're not going to see blips and weird. It just looks like the regular old internet. You can do other streaming, but it can get a little bit kludgy depending on how much stuff you're sitting through, especially if you're looking at stuff like lots of video. Antivirus, you know, do I want to enable or disable antivirus? Let's enable antivirus because I want antivirus to execute on that cloud machine, not on me. You know, download. Do you want to download stuff? Okay, fine. Do you want to sanitize it? Do you want to do, reconstruction? Do you want to let it download? Do you want to preview it or disable? I don't think that people will not download stuff they shouldn't, but I want them to be able to download stuff because they might need it for work. So I'll sanitize it. If you want to print, you know, do you not allow them to print, etc. A couple of other, and some of these are new features for me as well, so I'm still kind of figuring out what a couple of them are. And of course, my VM's got to lock up on me a little bit. Suspension, you know, do you want to disable the clipboard? Let's disable that. Certificates. Verify all certificates, block ads, sure. Creds autofill, disable, so you don't just automatically fill in the creds there. And let's save it. All right, so now that's my policy for everybody else. And you can see there's other things I can do here. Like if I don't want my people looking at porn sites, you know, you can add in no porn. And just anything that's categorized as porn isn't going to render on that browser. This works great if you have kids. You know, Twitter, Dropbox disable. Let's say I don't want people to upload things to Dropbox. You know, it's pretty cut and dry there. Dropbox.com for all profiles, disable upload. Done, problem solved. There's other settings that you can throw in here. Sanitize files, you know, how big, how small. Do you want to do more proxy stuff? Are you looking at... do you want to basically say you're shielded? Do you want to have an indicator frame on the actual site itself? Do you want your own landing page? You know, you shouldn't go here. This is a bad site, etc. Do you want to let them use developer tools? Sometimes you might not want them to let you use those developer tools. And then, are you integrated with DLP? Do you want to tie into that? Those types of things. All your reports, you can get reports. You know, what do you want? File transfer, end user feedback, audit logs. Let's do the last month. Let's do all activity. Right, I haven't been using this, but it's been showing up on a couple of other things as far as the tenant's been available. You know, authentication, SAML auth, pretty cool. You can tie in all that stuff. There's your IDP. You know, no password. Admin, and then profiles you can create. You can see I have an end user for me or everybody, and then tie into the simple stuff. You know, how do you use this thing? So back to where we were. Here's the policies that are in place. Default all is kind of what I've put in. Now let's go turn on, basically click and fire up the system, and you'll see immediately, whoop, it threw me out. Well, why did it throw me as the admin out? Well, I don't want you to be doing things on this site and see this big red box. That's letting me know this is running inside of a browser that's rendered in the cloud, which is kind of good, I think. Now, if you say crystal rendering, well, what does that look like? Well, if you go to YouTube, see it's in read-only mode, okay, but what you'll notice is it looks like it did just a few minutes ago. Like the browser's just doing what the browser did. You're not seeing a bunch of clippiness, etc. If I'm going to go look at, another Honest Trailers, great, Honest Trailers works like Honest Trailers, da-da-da-da-da. Now back to this ICAR site. When I'm on ICAR, it says read-only mode. You will not be able to type or enter data on this web page. Pretty restrictive, but could be a good way to kind of start off with policy and get things going as you dial this back, and I'll show you how we modify that. But remember earlier, when I downloaded that file, it downloaded to my machine, and that was too late. If it had been doing PowerShell or whatever, would have caused a compromise, bad stuff would have happened. Now, because I'm using the browser in RBI, all that stuff is happening in the cloud. Now you see, I tried to download that file, download blocked. Why? Because antivirus in the cloud said that it's a problem. Not get to my machine, not hopefully catch it, whatever else. User, you're trying to do stuff you shouldn't. It's not going to work because we're rendering that. We've extended the control plane way outside of the endpoint. And I'm not running anything on my machine. I mean, actually right now I'm running my machine to a VM, to a cloud, to everything else. So you can see there's no blips here. It's not working. Same sort of thing if I try to get the zip file, like it's sanitizing it, doing CDR, and it's going to come back and go, ooh, that looks like something malicious, not going to let you download. Bingo, there you go, download blocked. So, I mean, that's kind of the value of it. When you go to CNN, here's CNN, but if you were to go look at this without Ericom, you would see, basically look at all these lines of stuff, right? If you were to, think about all the embedding, all the JavaScript, all the other crazy ways that you could put iframes and da-da-da-da within a web page. Now, if you run it through Ericom, which you see, there you go, it's in read-only mode. Now let's go look at the page source. There we go. Oh, you know what? I can't look at page source because I disabled developer tools, so whoops. More tools. Let's try this way. Yeah. So there you see, security policies are preventing you from visiting this page. I can't even look at those developer tools to figure out a way around it, which is actually pretty useful if that's what your goal is. We can talk about dialing that back in a second. But anyway, on the far end, like here's that phishing site. Remember, I went to the fish, I found it on Fish Tank, it was live. I didn't do any training, I didn't educate it or whatever else. The system figured it out on its own that it's a newly registered domain. Things look weird. I'm a user, I ignored all the warnings I've been given. I'm gonna go to this unsafe site. And looky there, potential phishing alert detected. For security reasons, this site will be open in read-only mode. Click here for more information if I want to know why. Didn't work. But on this site, oh, it's a phishing alert. But even though it's a phishing alert, and even though I'm a user and I said, I don't care, you're stupid, don't tell me it's phishing, because I've rendered it in read-only mode, you can hear me typing super loud. It's not allowing me to enter the information. Like, it doesn't matter how hard I pound on that keyboard, I can't enter that stuff. And even if I say admin at Chase and try and enter the password that was stored, there you go. Like, it's not going to work. So, there you go. I can't enter stuff into that page because it's rendered that way, and because it's acting the way that I want it to do in the cloud. It doesn't matter. I can't mess that stuff up. It doesn't matter how well they fished me. I can't get there and enter my creds. Like, problem solved. If I'm back over here and I want to go back and change some admin stuff, I just turn off the plugin. And again, as a user, like I have for my kids, they can't turn the plugin off. It's on whether they like it or not. I'm in command. It's my system. That could be for your users, your administrators, your whatever. You're in command. If I go back to the policy, if I go back to the policy and look at my policies here, now you can see everything was rendered in Shield. It was read only. You know, I could change that to make it interactive, but that's kind of risky. If I want to allow uploads, okay, fine. Let's do, you know, disable downloads. Don't even sanitize it. And then read only stuff. You can make it interactive, but I would say that that's probably not a good idea. But let's just leave that the way that it is actually. You know, we save that, and then we go down to settings. Actually, let me make sure that that's where I want it. Yeah, in user options. I don't want a frame anymore because that frame's annoying. So I don't want the user to know at all that they're operating inside of this secured sort of enclave running in the cloud, right? So I save that. I go back here. I'm back up in my proxy, back up running and stuff. You know, if I look at it again, I may have to reload my whole browser, which is fine. Just to get rid of that red thing that I had there. Let's go to CNN.com. Now, notice that that red block has gone away, but I'm actually running through, you can see here, through my Eiricom Shield plugin. And if I go look at the page source, right, now you can go through here and see all these URLs, all the resolution, all the stuff that's happening is now running Ericom stuff. So basically what we're saying is because Shield mode is taking care of this, all those embedded things, iframes, JavaScript, all the things that you would use for malicious drive-bys, etc., is being removed, and you're just seeing what Ericom thinks you need to see for the purposes of the web page. Like, that's it. Same sort of thing if you're going back to, you know, Fish Tank. You know, you can grab a verify a fish. Actually, let's do a fish search. I don't feel like doing all that crap right now. So if you were to go back, and I had a couple of other rules for Twitter. You know, if I don't want you to be fished via social media, you know, log in. Again, you can see I've removed it. I've blocked it. If I try and go to a porn site, I don't know. You know, there you go. URL has been blocked by your system administrator. Adult porn is blocked. Again, works really great for kids. You could do the same thing for gambling and those types of sites as well. So if I'm off of my proxy and I'm going to go to admin here, and let's say I don't want to allow people to gamble while they're at work or they're on this browser. Let's go to policies. Let's add one. And it's for category. So let's say for anything that I would say is, you know, gambling, right? I'm gonna blacklist it. And then I'm just gonna put, you know, block for gambling sites. You know, profile, all that stuff's really not going to matter because I've blacklisted it, so we'll just add it. Right, gambling, see the profiles for all, block for gambling sites. I'm back as a user, my proxy's on, running through the Eiricom RBI. And let's go gambling site. I don't even know what these are, but sure, let's do that. There you go, blocked. So as a user, you know, problem, I can fix that or whatever else. I mean, I can't get around that is my point, is it's gambling, you know, poker site. Free poker. Let's go play some free poker. if I could ever get to one, because these sites are so, well, there you go, blocked. You know, and it's one of those things where you might, as a user, be like, this sucks or whatever else because you block something. But from the admin's perspective, I'm not going to allow you to conduct risky behavior that might infect your endpoint, which could compromise my system. Now, if you're doing things that you know, should be doing for regular old work purposes, you know, usatoday.com, great, you know, works just fine, blah, blah, blah. Go read up on stuff. If you're going to, you know, I don't know, E-Trade. Oh, sure, go, you know, go use your E-Trade stuff and do trading. Kind of gambling, kind of not, but anyway. There you go, E-Trade. Everything works. So the point is, as a regular user, you just use the internet. You know, everything works. You don't see that there's a problem. However, when you try and go somewhere that you shouldn't, you know, blocked.